Very good morning to Dr. Ephraim friends here. I am Liu Huixing with message number 272055. I want to present about the motivation of the study, research objective, and the methodology that we use to do the research project with the title, which is the adoption of smart shopping cart in supermarket among adults in Malaysia. About the motivation of the study is the smart shopping cart will be available during outbreak pandemic COVID-19. Due to the customer will avoid handle of physical payment while shopping as a result of COVID-19 pandemic by social distancing. It also will allow the customer to skip checkout the cashier to placing the product immediately. Therefore, it will replace the traditional smart shopping in 2025. At the same time, 18 years old and above will classified as adult in Malaysia. Due to the statistics shown that we have a total with 21.82 million in 2019 in Malaysia. Furthermore, the credit card user will increase in the future. Due to the statistics mentioned that it will be increasing from 7.2 million to 9.1 million from January 2015 until January 2020. The increasing number of credit cards have a growth of smart shopping cart, which attract user credit card to their apps in the future of Malaysia. After that, we have 4 research objectives, which are to determine the relationship between perceived informativeness, perceived ease of use, perceived usefulness, and perceived enjoyment, and the adoption of smart shopping cart in supermarket among adults in Malaysia. The sampling population that we use is adult in Malaysia. Due to the age of majority Act 1971 Section 4 mentioned that the minority age for all men and women for 18 years old in Malaysia should be majority age. It is because the adults are eligible for a credit or debit card that will allow them to use the smart shopping cart. Therefore, we have 81 respondents on the adoption of smart shopping cart. The sampling technique that we use is convenient sampling. It is because then this sampling will take minimum time and the least complicated compared to others. About the data correlation technique that we use is inference analysis. Because of inference analysis will involve making inference about a sample drawn and generalize that into the larger population from the sample is drawn. The type of the methodology such as hypothesis test, nominal test, and more. Therefore, inference and conclusion will depend on our 4 independent variables, which are perceived informativeness, perceived ease of use, perceived usefulness, and perceived enjoyment. About the data collection strategy that we use is survey. It's because the survey is the best way to collect the emotional feedback from respondents, which is future and profession of the smart shopping carts. It also will help to study the behaviors and attitudes, include comments, opinions, and truth, which generated a baseline to measure results over time. Therefore, it can be compared with the previous data. Thank you so much. I will pass to Rachel to start her presentation.
The respondent profile characteristic that show the highest frequency and percentage is female, those 18 to 24 years, those from college or university, and those people living in urban or suburban area, and those who perform grocery shopping 1 to 3 times in a month. According to the reliability analysis, the convex alpha for all variables range between 0.69 and 0.863, which is acceptable and good. For the normal distribution test, both skewness and kurtosis value for all the 5 variables lie between the range of positive and negative 3, which shows a normal distribution. The highest mean goes to perceived ease of use, which is 4.1574. From the result of Pearson correlation, there is a strongest correlation between perceived usefulness and the adoption of smart shopping cart, which shows a value of 0.902. Meanwhile, perceived ease of use and perceived enjoyment also correlate with the adoption of smart shopping cart strongly. Let's go to the multiple regression. F statistic is large and the p-value is also highly significant. According to the R-square, The independent variables explain about 83.3% of the variation in the dependent variable. Both perceived ease of use and perceived usefulness are found to have a p-value less than 0.05, which is highly significant. Perceived usefulness also show the highest standardized beta, which is 0.815. As a result, Hypothesis 2 and Hypothesis 3 are supported as they have a p-value less than 0.05. The ease of use of smart technology in a smart shop helps increase customer utilitarian benefits and hedonic benefits. Perceived ease of use is an important predictor of technology-related behavioral intention. And lastly, perceived usefulness is found to exert an influence on consumer shopping intention. Developers, marketers, and retailers should emphasize the aspects of perceived ease of use and perceived usefulness. Future studies should analyze whether utilitarian values impact the evaluation of smart technology and the presented products, and examine whether the adoption of smart shopping carts is consistent with actual behavior. Future studies should also analyze if the impact of perceived ease of use and perceived usefulness is persistent, and examine if they have the same influence on other smart technologies.